Right, we're going to go ahead and get started. So a couple of things. The book club that Sahili has been doing, not a lot of people have been coming to the meetings every week, so she's going to switch it up and just do 2 meetings a month, like every other week. So hopefully that'll help, because it's just getting, she said even for her, she wants to do it, but even for her, it's just tough to make 2 meetings, every week. So, excuse me. So she's going to switch it up a little bit. We're going to send out a new email about it, so anybody that's interested and wants to join along. And then the second part of that also has something to do with the email I sent today to you guys, which was your weekly email. But at the bottom, if you didn't scroll to the bottom, I put on there to reply and let me know your thoughts on meeting in person again. So I think I've said this before, but it might have been, I don't know who's heard it or not, but even if we start meeting in person again, we're going to keep the virtual meetings going because they're just working really well for a lot of people, especially even for me. I don't have childcare, just like a lot of you. So I can work it out to go to a meeting a week, but a lot of us can't. So, and I wouldn't even be able to do every time probably. So we'll keep the virtual meetings going. And plus I like having them recorded and being able to look back and, taking notes and all that good stuff. So if we meet in person, it would just be kind of an additional part to it. It'd be more for getting together and like collaborating and networking. We would still probably cover some of the topic and try to keep, things based around whatever topic we're covering that week, but it would just be more so that we can get together and see each other, because I sure do miss seeing a lot of you. I haven't even put as much thought into it, like where or anything. We used to meet at Perk a lot, and they have an outside area, but it's not huge. And I don't know, I'm getting some replies from some of our members that they want to meet, that they would be happy to. No one's saying, I said, put any restrictions that you would have, like, would you want it to only be like a certain number of people, or, does it have to be outside, and that sort of thing. And I'm really just getting back, like, let's just meet. So you guys, be sure to respond and let me know your thoughts on it. I can't please all the people, but I will definitely do my best. So I would really like to get us a live meeting again. So even if it's not every week, but every other week or something, just put something on the books so that we can get together. So keep that in mind and reply to that email if you have thoughts. If you don't have thoughts or you don't reply, I'm going to assume that yes, you're cool with it, and you would like to get together. So the other thing I wanted to mention to you all is, some of you know Katrina Aronson, who is a member of our group. She was actually our very first founding member that signed up. And she is a business consultant and coach for female entrepreneurs. She's helped many of our people in our group. And she started a Facebook group that she is much better at monitoring than I am at monitoring ours. But I am in the process of switching everything over to our website, where we will have a dedicated, spot on there to converse with each other and to keep the conversations going. But if you're interested, she's got quite a few local ladies and quite a few of our business casual members already a member of it. It's called Marketing and Mindset. But if you go to Katrina Aronson Consulting, you can ask to join her group. If anybody needs, I will put it in the chat here. She is at Katrina Aronson. I think it's Katrina Aronson Consulting. Let me just pull it up and make sure. Yeah, Katrina Aronson Consulting. And if you go to her page, you can request to join the group. So she's got just a little more interaction going on there right now. It's not a huge group right now, but she's asking cool questions, and she's designing, things around that. So if you're interested, you can get on there. It's called Mindset and Marketing. It's got 42 members already. I mean, that's really great. And there's a lot of our business casual ladies are in there. So it's just another way for you guys to network and to get to know more ladies who are in the same mindset and are doing the same thing that you are. So, we're always saying, like, it's hard to meet new people, and this is just another way to do that. So she hasn't said anything about doing any live events like in person, but I'm sure at some point she'll do something cool like that. Meanwhile, it's a good place to go on there and network. So I wanted to mention that. Same thing, if any of you have anything going on like that and you wanted me to promote it, you just let me know. It's part of being business casual, is that you have a link to all of these other amazing women, and I can put things in emails and such. So all you have to do is reach out to me. So just keep that in mind. All right, so the second part of Analyze This. Last week, if you weren't here, I think most of you were, but if you weren't, last week we started a new series called Analyze This, and we talked all about Instagram analytics because you guys have been asking for help with that. So we talked about Instagram analytics, and we went through a lot of the definitions and where to look for things and what to use, and then how to use those analytics to improve upon your posting and your posting habits, so that you can gain more attention, get more click-throughs, that sort of thing. So this week we're going to talk about Facebook, and they're very similar. Instagram and Facebook are very, very similar. A lot of the wording is the same, a lot of the definitions, but I'm just going to pull up. The nice thing about going on Facebook is that it can be on my computer screen. So I'm going to share my screen with you guys. Let me just pull it up here and pull up my Mama Crush. Now, again, I am the worst at posting over the last couple of months, so it's not going to be a ton of valuable insight, but I just want to kind of show you guys where we can find everything. So this is the Mama Crush page, and up at the top you'll see Insights, and we're going to click on Insights. And this gives you a lot of information. That is one nice thing about Facebook is, and it's on a larger, you can do this on your laptop, on your big computer screen. So for those of you that on Instagram, we're only able to look at it on our phone, it makes it a little tough sometimes to really dig in there. But with Facebook, they have a lot of data on here, and it's on this nice big screen if you want it to be. So it makes it a little easier to use. For page summary, since I haven't posted really in the last 7 days, I'm going to go ahead, and you can only go back up to a month. So keep that in mind. You probably want to be looking at Facebook on a monthly basis. And this is going to give me my last 28 days of results. So this, like I said, it kind of gives you the same analytics, the same measures that Instagram does. Your actions on your page, that would be like things that happen on your page, website clicks, shares, not shares, actions on your page are just things that are actually happen native to your page. So like website clicks, someone writing a review for you, on your page, someone liking your page, someone, what else would they be doing? If they shopped on your page, like if you had a shopping thing. So actions on your page are a little bit different. And you can go to these little eyes here and see exactly what they are. It's like if they're reacting to your contact info or your call to action button. Page views, obviously and I say obviously, but I want to talk as though we don't know what we're doing. So page views are the number of times somebody viewed your Facebook page. So that's not your post, that's your actual Facebook page, the Mama Crush, the business page. And I should back up and say that this is just strictly for a business page. This is not data you're going to find on your own personal, like Leanne Roberts' page. This is only going to be because Mama Crush is set up as a business on here. Page previews, I don't remember what that one was. Oh, that's, I guess, if somebody hovered over your page name or profile picture to see a preview of your page content. I don't know where they would do that. And I didn't see that when I was doing research. So I'll have to find out more about that one. But page views, like we said, that's when somebody actually looks at your page. And then the nice thing about page views is that they either had to go directly to your page, like they had to click through on something to get there, or they had to look for you, right? They were like looking for the Mama Crush and they went there. So it's either from a post that they clicked through or because they actually went there and looked for it. Page likes. So this is similar to someone following you on Instagram. Page like it's basically like a follow of your page. And the more page likes you have, the more likely you are to show up in those people's feeds. So the algorithm is crazy on Facebook, and the algorithm decides what is going to be shown to someone. So when they pull up Facebook and they start scrolling, if you want to show up in their feed, they need to probably be following you, or they need to like your page. They need to like your page. And then the more likes that you have on your page, the more it tells Facebook, hey, this person's, content is worth showing people. So it works two ways there. Post reach. This one is, I forgot what it is. Saw all your content that you posted. Yeah. So this is who saw, or how many eyes saw the content that you posted. And as far as I know, Facebook does not count someone twice. So if they look at your, if they, sorry, I'm just getting my numbers mixed up here. If they look at your post 10 times, they only are counted one time. So this is the number of eyes that were on your post this month in the last 28 days. And like I said, you can go to 7 days. You can go to, I think it's just yesterday as well. So this is the number. Story reach. And this is where it kind of gets interesting. And this is something that I think we can all improve upon. Facebook has stories of their own. And a lot of times you can set up, or most of us probably have it where we set up so that whatever you post to Instagram gets automatically posted to Facebook, and whatever you post to Instagram on stories gets automatically posted to your Facebook stories. Facebook doesn't count those Instagram stories that you have posted that have just like gone straight over there, that have been like linked and pushed through from Instagram. For stories, they want you to do native stories. So they want you to put stories on Facebook, okay? And to use their stickers and their little emojis and things on there. So you have to remember that even though I know I have had stories in the last month, it's not counting anything because they came just from Instagram. Is it good to have them on there? Absolutely. However, if I could take the time and make these stories native to Facebook, so I know it's double the work because I'm going to do it on Instagram and then I'm going to do it again on Facebook, but that's how you can start to see, your results on Facebook. And also, just a little tip, and this is something that you can really use, is that Facebook stories haven't really taken off yet. They don't, Facebook is not known for stories, whereas Instagram, that's kind of like where everybody goes now. However, this is almost like free real estate, or, it's a way for your little image to pop up at the top of somebody's screen. So if I go to just my feed, is this my feed? No, that's me. How do I do that? Facebook. Sorry. So if I go to Facebook and just to look through my feed, immediately the stories pop up at the top. And so these names and these businesses, the Pop Home, that's Jessica, she's part of our group, will pop up at the top. And that is just like real estate that has not been taken advantage of yet, you guys. So the more you can do stories on Facebook, the more your face or your business name is going to be seen on people's Facebook feeds. So if you take anything away from today, it's that you should be creating native Facebook stories. If you push them from Instagram, they will still show up here. However, Facebook is not counting that. And I bet if you create native Facebook stories, they will make sure that your stories are up here in this in these little boxes for more people. So keep that in mind. Okay, let's go back here. Let's go back to insights. Sorry, it's taking a second to pull up. Oh, what happened there? Insights. Just kidding. My computer wanted to stop. And are any of you creating Facebook stories native to Facebook instead of, or stories instead of, I don't know why this is not working. All right, I'm going to get off of there real quick. Let's log in again. Oh, maybe my internet's acting crazy. Okay, so is anyone, and I didn't hear anybody say yes or anything there, or you can raise your hand if you are, but I just think it's a really good plan if you want to get more, more interaction on your Facebook page, or more views and more people seeing your name or your business name. Okay, while this pulls up, I think my speech is just slow right now. Or maybe it's because I have 55 tabs open at the top. I could probably get out of this. Okay, here we go. Let's see, Mama Crush. Insights. Oh, maybe Facebook's acting crazy. Okay, here we go. Let's go to the last 28 days. Recommendations, I don't have any on there. This is when someone recommends you, and somewhere else on the on Facebook, when they recommend your business, when your business name pops up, you know, how it gets highlighted and, you know, people can click on it and go to you. That would be in there as well. Post engagement is exactly what we think it is. It is likes, shares, comments. Basically, that's it. Like, shares, and like, shares, and comments. So that is post engagement. Videos. So they separate out videos from your regular posts here to let you know how they are doing and let you know how many views you've had. So we all know, and if you don't, now you know, video is king on Facebook. Video is really where you can do a longer form video, Facebook Lives. You can have, you know, meetings on there. I mean, you can talk to people. So Facebook, for Facebook ads, you know, we do this in the other company that I'm working for. Anything with video on it always tends to perform better than things that are static. So it's the same when you're scrolling and when people are scrolling and stopping. So keep that in mind, that video is king on here. Whereas on Instagram, video is very important. But in the posts, when people are scrolling, it's harder for them to see like any kind of long form. You're like looking for shorter stuff on Instagram. On Facebook, you can go a little more long. It's the same with posts. People expect a little bit more information, a little bit more, you know, content on Facebook. It's okay if it's the same, but I just saying if you want to get more interaction and more, you know, and for Facebook to think that you're more valuable, those are the things you should be doing. Page followers. This is just telling me, you know, how many people I got to follow my page. Your page, paid and non-paid. Oh, okay, I don't have any paid ads, so it's just telling you that it would break it down. And orders, I don't have anything to shop for. So here's where it gets really interesting and where you want to start looking. If you scroll down and you say your 5 most recent posts, and there's going to be a way here for you to see all of the posts as well. But oh wait, it's right here. So you can click on see all posts. And this says data shown for a recent 1 week period, insights for the time of day. Okay, this is where you can get really specific on your actual posts and when people are looking. So we're up here at the top says when your fans are online. So this is when the people that like your page, it's not necessarily just the audience that you're going after, but with people that already like your page, this is when they are most active on Facebook. So for me, it looks like the peak is really around 6 o'clock p.m., which is surprising to me because that's like dinner time. But this is the peak here. I mean, it's not a huge difference throughout the other times of the day. So I don't think I would be like wrecking myself if I were to post at say 1 o'clock as opposed to 6 o'clock, but some of you may see a spike in some of these areas. It's also telling you days of the week, which are the most, and you know what? It's pretty darn consistent all week for my followers. So, or for the people that are my fans that are like, I guess fans are followers, right? So the people, for me, it's every day of the week. You know, you might see something spike there and make sure that you are definitely posting on that particular day. Post types. So these are the different success of the different post types based on average reach and engagement. So reach, we spoke about last week. Reach is how many eyes actually see your post, and engagement is the likes, shares, and comments. So this is telling me that what the average reach is and what the average engagement is on all of my posts, I guess overall. It's because it's saying show all posts. Okay. So overall, this is what happens. Then it also tells you when something is a photo or when it's a link to something else. So if I am just linking them to, a website or another person's page or something. And then the average engagement. So you can see here, it breaks down even the engagement into post clicks and then reactions, comments, and shares. Post clicks is when somebody will actually click on that post and go all the way to your page. And then also reactions, comments, and shares. I mean, that just, you know what that is. That's when somebody likes it or puts a little smiley face or a heart on there and then comments or shares what you want. We really, really want this. We really, really want to drive shares. So if we go down into the nitty gritty of each individual post, it is going to give you based on recent, this is how it's lined up, what the post was, what type it was. I don't think I have any video posts on here. Let me see if it says anything different for video posts. Yeah, it does. So if I have a video on there, it'll give you this little video guy here so that you can see what's performing well. So if we just look at reach, and when it says targeting, I'm not targeting anyone specific. I'm going for the whole entire world here. But if we do reach, if we look at just how many eyes got on these, you can see, you know, this one here, this Brady Bunch one I had, got a lot of reach. The World's Okayest Mom got a lot of reach. And these, and I could pull these out and just kind of look at them individually and say, okay, what kind of posts were these? What was I talking about? What was my call to action? I'm sorry, not call to action, but you know, what type of, was it a busy photo? Was it a video? Was it, you know, something that I was sharing? And then go into engagement, and where you want to look is which post got you the most engagement. And then again, what was my call to action in there? So here, this one had a lot of, well, right here, this one had a lot of engagement. That was a video of me running into the sliding glass door. This one had a lot of engagement, so I know exactly what happened because it was a funny video. So I might want to put more entertaining and funny stuff up on my post. But I also had a call to action. I also put in there to click on a link to reserve a spot at a speaker event that I was speaking at. So it had a good, strong call to action. I was taking them somewhere, doing something with it, and it was funny and entertaining. So you can look at those type of posts and say, what has performed the best over the last however long you want to look, and what can I do to get more of that, right? Like what kind of posts can I make to do more of that? The other cool thing to look at is when you're looking at a post that reached a lot of people is what time it was at. Because like we said, my average audience, this just tells me when they're online. It doesn't necessarily tell me, or when they're on Facebook, it doesn't necessarily tell me when they liked my post. So you take this and then you kind of break it down further into this. So the ones that got the most reach, 5 o'clock p.m., 11 o'clock a.m., this one was 8:21 a.m. So it was kind of all over the board, morning, afternoon, and night. But I could start looking and seeing if there's any kind of trend there, and making sure that I post at those really high engagement and high reach times. So that's what you can do with that information. Let's see, what else did I put on here that I wanted to make sure. So posting times, unless you use a scheduler that tells you what the best times to post are, it's kind of like a crapshoot, right? It's kind of like a, let me just try and see what works thing. And so you could do some A/B testing if you are getting to the point where you're scheduling out your post. You know, if I saw that 5 o'clock p.m. and 8 a.m. were my best times to post according to my, you know, to my post performance down here, then I could set up, you know, to schedule my posts so that, you know, one day I do, or 1 week I do 8 a.m. and the next week I do 5 p.m. and then let's see what performed better, you know, when I got more eyes on my content. If you wanted to really dig deep and get really into your posting. So that's just an idea. But this is what I really wanted to talk about from all of these analytics with Facebook, because those are really the main things you want to pay attention to. I'm sure there's even more good information in here. But those to me, oh, this is something cool though. I did want to say, I didn't even know you could do this. So this is top posts from pages you watch. Here, I haven't done this. I didn't even know it was here until I started researching this. You can add pages to people that are similar to you that you want to watch. It's kind of like competitor spying, right? Or getting competition intel to see what they're doing. And I haven't even done it yet, but it looks like it will basically tell you the same things that are just telling you right here, right? The page, when it was published. Oh, it's not all these things, I'm sorry, but it's the page that it came from, when it was published, how many times they post this week, and then their engagement. And so you can kind of keep an eye on these things and say, oh my gosh, that person is crushing it. You know, if I'm looking at other personal stylists around here or other kind of like mom lifestyle pages, and, you know, they're crushing it, I can look into there and see what they're doing to get so much, you know, so much engagement, or, and then, or I could look and say, oh, wow, that person is not performing well at all, and make sure I'm not doing what they're doing, right? Look at the types of posts they're posting. So this is really great competitive info, and I had no idea that it was there. I haven't even added anyone in. So I will go through and add some pages and just like keep an eye on like what's going on in my industry, what's going on there. But what I wanted to really talk about from all of these analytics is, now how can we use them? So I've given you basically the same ideas as last week as Instagram, is like, take these things and then curate your post feed, right? Curate your posts. come up with a strategy to post consistently, because that is really a huge driving factor in all of the platforms, whether it's Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, YouTube. They all want you to consistently post. But what I've taken away from when I'm doing this research is Facebook really wants you, and it makes sense, to post natively, right? So you can push all of your stuff from Instagram. But if you look at just alone, like the stories, they're not even giving me the information on that because I didn't create that story on on Facebook. So I think that posting natively is really, really important. If Facebook is not one of your main platforms that you are really wanting to engage people or drive, eyes to, then just continue to use Instagram and push, and just push the posts and the stories through. But if Facebook is somewhere where you have seen any type of success, or that people in your industry have seen success, it may be worth it to take those posts that you're doing for other platforms and natively put them on Facebook. And if you don't know what natively means, it means to create them on the actual platform and not just push them from another platform. So it means to get on here and actually create the post right here. The other thing that I can tell you about Facebook that is different from our other platforms, or different from Instagram anyway, is that it is share heavy. Facebook loves for you to share content. They all love for you to share content, but Facebook really, really smiles upon this. So if your content is getting shared, it just tells Facebook, this person is really putting out good info. This person is putting out good content that needs to be shared. So what can you do with these posts to make them more share worthy, right? Share worthy should be your buzzword in your head when you're creating something on Facebook. What motivates you to share something? So when you're scrolling through Facebook, if you ever do, why would you share a post? Is it because there's a contest, because they offered you something if you share this post? I know that worked wonders for me when I had a clothing boutique. I did a video every Friday, a Facebook Live video, and then it lived on my page as a video. And I said, if you shared this by Sunday, it was on Fridays. If you shared it by Sunday, you were entered in a giveaway. And it worked like crazy. Sharing can get so many eyes on your content. And so we want to create share-worthy content. So think about things that you would share. Is it a giveaway? Is it just a really compelling, something that moves you post? Is it a funny video? Is it entertaining? Is it a funny meme? Let's see, I wrote some other ideas down. Is it like a personalized product recommendation, right? So if Diana is doing something, she's making something or sharing a recipe, but then at the same time, she's also saying, oh my gosh, this is the best kitchen tool I have, and it's, going to change your life kind of thing. And she makes a quick little video about that or a post about that. That's share worthy, because I'm like, oh, hey, such and such, you should see my friend uses this, and she's, she cooks all the time, that sort of thing. So it's things that you want to share, things that you want to recommend. Lifestyle stuff works really well. I know that for Jessica, she's the pop home before and afters. Anything before and after works amazing for sharing. People really like that. So you have to think about the things that are share worthy, but then also always remember in those posts to tie it back to you and your brand. So Diana's not going to get on there and just talk about a particular kitchen tool that she loves. She's also going to say, and if you want to see all the things that I've created, from it, or you want to see how I made this delicious, I don't know what, dinner with it, then, you should click here. So she's always driving it back to her own brand, back to her own site or her page or what have you. So make sure that whatever you're sharing always comes back to you. You're asking them to come back to you. So you want to make things always highly visual. This is the same across all platforms, but you want to make sure it's clear and understandable. That it's easy to understand. Like I said, you want to add attention getting headlines to your videos. So if you take the time to make a Facebook Live video or to make a video and post it, make sure you're not just posting it and dropping it and leaving it there and hoping people, want to watch it. You have to definitely put a headline on it. Like, what is this video about? What are you doing here? And then if you can, in your videos, caption as well, because we're finding as time goes on, more and more people are listening or watching Facebook, Instagram, and all that in silence, right? So they may put it on, scroll through, and they don't have the sound on because the other people in the room are watching a movie, or or somebody else is working on the computer or something. So if you can caption your videos, please do. And then always make sure you're putting some sort of attention grabbing headline on top of your video, or not on top of your video, in the post. Let's see, you want to post consistently and native to Facebook. And like I said, with Facebook stories, there's still a low enough amount of people actually doing it native to Facebook, and then also doing it in general, that there's a lot of opportunity there. So you can pop up on all of your followers' top of their page every time they open Facebook if you get really consistent about posting stories. And then also if you can do native stories, I think your chances are even better. So let's see. On Instagram, like I said, when I'm talking about Facebook being really share, you want to be share worthy. On Instagram, of course, we hope somebody shares a post or, puts it in their stories, for you. However, that's not really the driving force. Like, that's not exactly like what we go on Instagram to do always. We save posts, or we comment on them and we like them. But on Facebook, we are really inherently, we want to share things. So, I mean, if you go through your feed, most of it is probably people sharing an article or sharing, something they saw on the news, or sharing, something along those lines, or sharing somebody else's funny video. So you want to create that content that people want to share. And then also, you don't always have to create these original things on Facebook. If you just don't know what to post today, share something of someone else's, as long as it's relevant to what you're doing. So in business casual, I don't always have to I don't ever do it, but I don't need to come up with original posts all the time. I could be sharing y'all's stuff, right? Because you guys are relevant to what we do. I could be sharing, Katrina, like I was talking about her Facebook group, I could be sharing that in there. So because Facebook encourages sharing, they want to see that you're also sharing other people's content as well. So keep that in mind too. You don't always have to have your own original content. It's best to have most of it your own original, but you can add in the type of things, because it also tells Facebook exactly who you are and what you do. If they were unclear before, based on what you're posting of your own, the things that you share will tell them the things that you're interested in, that your page likes and is interested in. So let's see. I think that pretty much covers it on Facebook. Does anybody have any questions or anything in particular they wanted more information about on Facebook? No? Silence? Okay. So I'll put these again in notes for you guys. And then later this afternoon, you're going to get the follow-up notes from Pinterest from last week. I just sent out that email and didn't have time to stick that on there. So you'll get that this afternoon. Next week, you'll get these Facebook notes. We are continuing on. Last week I didn't have a Thursday night meeting. This week we will. So most you guys don't need to know that, but I'll make sure to spread the word more. And I am really excited. I did start working on our Business Casual Mastermind website. So I am pumped to get that out to you guys. I can't wait. We're going to have so much good information on there, and all of these notes and all of these things all in one place. So you're not scrambling to find stuff. And if for some reason you don't get an email or something, you know that you can always go in there, and I will post those as well in the site too. So it'll be really nice to have everything in one spot. But if next week we will cover another platform, Instagram and Facebook. This week was really short because Instagram and Facebook are pretty similar. I just pointed out that, some of the big differences that you need to watch out for, but next week we will move on to another platform, most likely Pinterest, and we will talk about that. And then from there we will go to Google and SEO and all that good stuff. So keep that in mind and be ready so that we can learn how to read analytics from those things. And if you have any specific questions, I just go out and gather as much information as I can. But if you have specific questions, please let me know. And I think that's it. Let me stop sharing this screen. You had a bunch of chats there and I didn't see that. Okay, wait a minute. Sorry, let me go back here. Oh, Gwen has the next in mind tribe. Anyone interested in learning more about mindfulness meditation, go ahead and join there. Erica, will it count as native if it's from a scheduler? I know what you're asking here. So is Erica still on here? Yeah, she is. Okay. So no is the real answer if it's coming from a scheduler, but it's still original content. It's still an original post. And Noelle may have a better answer for you than I do, but all of the platforms prefer that you go on there and create your posts and such. However, using a scheduler can be the best thing that's ever happened to you, like as far as batching and being able to schedule out and stuff. So it's kind of like risk versus benefit, right? Like,
I feel like if I'm not going to post at all because I'm not going to get to it that day, it's better to put it through a scheduler.
100%. Yes.
Okay.
And that's what we were talking about.
That's usually what it is. I'm like so scattered all over the place running around. I don't have time to,
we preach like batching and planning here to each other, and that's exactly the answer. So you're still going to do 1,000 times better than you would if you didn't post, right?
But I didn't realize that before. Now I'm going to say, okay, like days that I'm in the office, look what time it's posting and post it myself then instead.
Right. Like you can still batch and create, right? And then on the times you can, instead of letting it push itself, you can actually go in and pull out, make a copy of everything and then just post it yourself. However, I don't want you to get too caught up in that because like you said, if it saves you time to do it all in one sitting, which most of us that would save time, if you did it once a month or once a week, it's not worth it to go and then spend your time because it eats up minutes of your day and, every minute counts. So I would much rather,
and I know I just won't do it because it's like I'm doing a million other things or I'm out.
100%. Yes. So I would say, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you. I was going to say you can also use Facebook to schedule your posts on Facebook.
I used to do that, but I recycle my content. So I was using, I recycle what came from Instagram, even though it's a brand new post. So on the scheduler, all I have to do is hit duplicate and I schedule it for a month after, and then I schedule my LinkedIn for a month after that. So essentially I'm covering 3 platforms. I'm not posting the same content each day, but I just can't produce enough content for 3 platforms.
It makes sense. And like you said, it definitely, I'd rather you see you using a scheduler than not getting your posting done or driving yourself mad and crazy and trying to do it every day. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. Right. So it's better to do what you're doing than not, than not to, I think.
Well, and that's a benefit of the scheduler too, because I know everyone says, repurpose your content because you're going to drive yourself nuts. And people do not realize, even people that comment on my posts every day on both platforms don't even realize that I posted that a month before.
Right.
They're totally oblivious to it.
No, because think of how much content people are seeing every single day. A month later.
It saves so much time. So then all I have to do is create one piece of content for each day then versus 3.
Absolutely. And I think that's fantastic. I would much rather see you doing that than trying to be native on every platform. That's just not possible, right? So I'm just giving you the tips that, Facebook recommends. So, all right. So let's see.
I have a random question, actually. I don't know if you came across this, Leanne, in your research, and I probably could just Google it, but I just haven't. What's the difference between likes and follows on, if you look at the insights on your Facebook page, it'll say page likes and page follows. What is the difference between the two? Because to me, it didn't make sense. My follows are more than my likes. So more people follow me than like me, but why would they follow me if they didn't like the page? You know what I mean? And how do you follow somebody?
Yeah. I know what you're saying, because that happens to me sometimes too when I'm liking pages versus following them, because you can like a page and not follow it, meaning that it just shows up in your feed. But I don't know
my dog.
I just know that it's an option.
Yeah.
Because I know sometimes I'm like, oh, I don't see any of your posts, and I have to go back in and click follow because sometimes I liked their page, but I'm not following them. It's so weird.
Right.
Yeah, I've looked into this and I haven't come up with a good answer aside from they're just different. So someone can like and follow and not like, and your numbers, it doesn't really matter. You want them kind of similar,
right?
Instead of 1,000 versus 100. But yeah, I haven't come up, because I have Googled this to find out and have not come up with a good answer from Facebook other than they're just different options for people to follow you.
Yeah, I think the follow thing does mean that people want to see your post purposely, so they follow it so that it comes up on their feed. But I just don't know why more people would have. I mean, it's not that big. It's like a 400 person discrepancy on mine. But like, I just think it's weird that they would want to follow, but they don't actually like my page. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's
they
an oversight. Like people don't realize they didn't like your page. You know,
right.
I'm following you, and I'm like, no, you're not. You know.
Yeah.
Well, that's what happened to me is like, because people will be like, oh, did you see what I posted? I'm like, no, I don't see it at all. And then I went back and realized even though I had liked them, I wasn't following them.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, wait a minute, this is so weird.
I wouldn't care either way, but a lot of stuff when I apply for brand campaigns, it'll ask for the amount of likes on your page, and I would rather give them the higher number, obviously. So, you know, it's like I said, it's not that big of a difference, but I'm just like, that's weird. Like when I noticed that there were 2 different numbers, I was like, But yeah, makes sense that it doesn't make sense. A lot of stuff doesn't make sense on social media.
So when I've done research on it, the thing that I've learned is that the like is almost more of someone just kind of like, I don't know, like showing support, I guess you could say, but the follow itself causes it to have your post come up in their feed.
Right.
So a like is great if you're, from my understanding, and I could be totally wrong, but from what I've learned is that it comes up from helping people see that you're like legit, I guess you could say, but the follow is more about them being able to see your content on,
like opting in almost.
Yes, kind of like opting
stuff
in, almost like a newsletter kind of thing. But Facebook also sees it as value and sees your stuff at a higher, I don't know how to state it. Like, so they see it as inventory, and they see your inventory as more valuable than someone else's based on how many people actually want to see it and that are engaging. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah. Basically, you just explained what this says. I don't. You guys can see my screen, right? So.
Yeah, I haven't Googled it in a long time.
Well, I just looked it up on Facebook. I just, put it in the difference between likes and follows on a page. And here it's saying that someone likes a page, they're showing support for your page and that they want to see the content from it. It can also show up as being in their about section. So like if I were to go to Gwen's profile and click on her about, it would show like some of the pages that she likes, and the Mama Crush could be one of them. When someone follows a page, it means they receive updates about the page in their news feed. So if they follow, it almost sounds like is better than follow. Let's see. Yeah, so people who like a page will automatically follow it. So if they click like, they get like and follow. If people like a page, they can still choose to unfollow it, but they'll stop receiving updates. People can follow a page even if they haven't liked it. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's what doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
And I feel like brands should ask more about how many people follow, because it's kind of like the opt-in to want to see your information rather than just liking it and being like, oh yeah, it's my friend's business, so I liked it, but I don't really want to see what she's talking about.
But I think it's actually the opposite. It looks like the likes carry more weight because the like can actually show up in people's profiles, and the like makes an automatic follow. So
yeah, but then how do I have more follows than likes?
I don't know.
That doesn't make, like, to me, that doesn't, I
Well,
don't know.
It says people can follow a
That's what I
page
thought,
even
too.
if they haven't liked it.
Yeah.
Basically, I think you need to get people to do like, if you're driving them somewhere, right? Like if you're telling your family, hey, make sure you like my page, don't just follow it, like my page.
Right.
Which one of them can you invite people to do? Isn't there like? So when it sounds like that's the more important one.
But then I remember a while ago, there was a big thing about like a lot of bloggers and stuff were saying like, make sure if you like my page, make sure to go up and follow it so that you're actually seeing, you're saying that you want to see this content. So
Right.
That's what doesn't make sense to me. I didn't mean to get all deep into it.
It's really interesting. Yeah. Cause I wasn't even thinking about that.
It sounds like we all have been a little confused about it too. It's
Yes.
like there's no one good answer. I don't quite get it all. It doesn't make sense.
Sometimes I think they don't know what they're talking about. Like the actual platforms, they just test stuff. Right now, actually, like on Pinterest, there's like all these different things because they have new stuff going on. And the consensus is that they just throw stuff out there and see what sticks. And there's no actual rhyme or reason in the beginning. So I think that's kind of where some of these things lie.
Let's see. Gwen,
I
what's
just
your
added
Facebook?
a link real fast to that thing that you were reading, Leanne. And then there was a question underneath, like one of those frequently asked things, and it was about followers themselves. So but there's other questions that are below it that are related to it. So that's where she was reading, like, I think that's where you were reading it, but it might be helpful just to personally begin, because some of the things I'm reading even now, just with Googling it and finding that, they don't go with what I just said 2 minutes ago. So it is weird. It's like, there's so many different ways of looking at it. It's crazy.
You know, what it all comes down to when we talk about all the platforms and the different ways to master each one individually, it's really difficult because things are constantly changing, and the algorithms and the likes and all this, you know, what's more important and what's not important. But I think if you are just thinking about your business and not, you know, and like how you want to drive people there, you just have to have a really consistent strategy, and you can do it across whatever platforms that you're choosing. It's to post consistently, to put out really good content, to be eye-catching, to make somebody want to stop and make somebody want to share your stuff or save it, right? And those are like, if you do those few things on any platform, or even on your own website, you know, then you're going to find success with it. If you want to dig down deep, I mean, if you know that Facebook, when I was doing the Mama Crush Boutique, Facebook was my bread and butter. I mean, it was where every dollar came from almost, besides referrals. So, but online, it was where my money came from. So I should have been in those analytics and really digging deep the way we're doing and figuring out the difference between a like and a follow and such. So you decide which of these platforms is your bread and butter, and that's the one that you take all this good info we have. It's great knowledge to have, and it's good to know, but I don't want you to dig so deep that then you're like, well, you end up like, what is that? You know, you analyze to paralyze or something, you know, like you analyze everything that you just don't know what to do anymore, you know? And so, or you get so overwhelmed by all the information. So if you pick whatever your bread and butter is, or whatever you want to focus on, then I think that's where you dig deep. It doesn't have to be across every single platform, right? So
I think that there is some value in, if you are interested in trying different things out on different platforms, I've found that being an early adopter to stuff, when they have, even if it's features that go away, like when a platform is launching a new feature, they want it to catch on. So if you're one of the first people that's using that feature, they will prioritize your posts. And it may not eventually go anywhere, like, you know, they may actually remove the feature down the road, but I think they appreciate and want to boost, you know, more views of things. So I found that in some of the, you know, different things going on. And I'm glad that you said actually about the Facebook. I haven't even thought about doing the Facebook stories, because I story all the time on Instagram, but I feel like it's definitely worth it to just like give it a try, because like you said, there's not many people that are doing it. So the fact that you would come up first, you know, top of page or whatever, I feel like that would at least, you know.
And it's not as hard as we think it is, because on Instagram, you can save your stories to your phone, you know, like you can save whatever you created, but then when you get onto Facebook, it's coming straight from your phone and not from Instagram, right? So it's coming from there, and then just plug in a couple of their stickers or their, you know, or tags of people, and you know, and do that on there. And that way it's native to Facebook. Or if you have the time to create actual stories on there, go ahead. But it's the same thing, you know, it's the same like way to do it natively. So using the same content, you're just not pushing it directly from Instagram. So I 100% agree with you on that, Diana. And I think that the more you're willing to try out what they're trying out, the more smiles they, you know, that they want to smile on you for that. So I think the stories are really the area of opportunity right now with Facebook. So if you guys wanted to focus and see where you could move the needle a little bit, that would probably be where it would be. Let's see what other questions were in there. Hannah had mentioned that trying to respond or interact to comments within the first 15 minutes on Instagram and 10 minutes on Facebook would be helpful. And I mean, that again, Facebook and Instagram smile upon those things. You know, I've definitely known that 15 minutes about Instagram, and try to be present when I post something. For, you know, I try to do it for the next little while and check in, you know, every couple of minutes. Facebook, 10 minutes is really fast. And I would imagine that's just because there's so much dang content on there that you have to be really quick. So that's probably why. And again, this is not something you need to dig super deep on if Facebook isn't your bread and butter. However, it would also be great, like Diana's saying, to give something a shot and see if it does boost your engagement, right? If I start on Facebook, I rarely respond within the first day because I'm so focused on Instagram on my post, because I'm posting usually at the same time. But if I were to go onto Facebook and do a native post and respond as things come in, maybe I would see some better engagement there. So, I mean, those are obviously like rules for a reason, right? Or unwritten rules. And I don't know what the link is that Hannah put on here, but let's see what it is real quick. It may be about the likes and the follows. Yeah, that's what it is. Follow or like. So it was what we were pulled up. Thank you, Hannah, for the insight. You must be busy right now, I imagine. And then Hannah also wanted Erica to know that she loves your earrings. So, all right, ladies, thank you guys so much for all the interaction, and we will keep plugging away at this, and we will make this, we're going to master our platforms. We are. So next week will be Pinterest. So if you're interested in seeing, we talked so much about strategy. So let's talk about how we can read those analytics and use them to, improve our strategy and improve our Pinterest pins. So talk to you guys next week.
Happy belated birthday, Leanne. I saw that it was your birthday
Diana.
after the fact. I'm never on Facebook anymore. And then I was like, oh, I missed your birthday.
Same. I pulled it up in the late afternoon and I'm like, oh, look at all these people that said happy birthday. I had no idea. So
hope you had a good one.
I did. We're buying a new house, so we can't complain.
All right. Take care.
Right. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.